Good morning. I'm home. It was so nice to sleep in my own bed again, let me tell you. Wow, did I sleep like a baby. And I was to bed about 2:30 in the morning because I was wanting to see how that food farm that our rad ninja is playing on looked because it looked really, really nice. Oh my gosh, all the fruits and vegetables, some of which I've had, and they're hard to come by, but some of them grow here in Florida, like the dragon fruit and the sapote. Oh, yum, yum, yum. So check this out. My hair feels so good since I had it done. I can actually run my fingers through it a lot easier. This is one of the sport bras that I got when I was up in New York. And I really, really like this. I actually got this at Forever 21, believe it or not. And I'm gonna have to do a fashion show because I got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but some really like important items that I need when I teach Kundalini yoga, like this pretty pink and that light gray. Those are wrap shawls for when I teach and it gets chilly in the room because it does get very cold, especially when we're doing these teacher training weekends. And the other thing is I want to share my bathroom. When it's nice in the morning and the light is coming through, there are rainbows. And this is the time of year more direct sunlight comes through those glass blocks. OMG, talk about beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? They're dancing rainbows all over the floor, all over. Look at that. Look at all the dancing rainbows. I hope it comes across as beautiful as it is when I get to see it. Even the toilet gets covered in rainbows. It's so awesome. I love it. So I have a lot to catch up on. Today I have to go by the studio and I have level 2 conscious communication certificates to create for everybody who went through the training, myself included. And I have to get ready to prepare for Beyond Addiction weekend, which starts Friday morning. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be deep in peeling those layers away. How many more layers are there? Well, I think it's unlimited because you just don't know. And I really think it comes down to the deeper you go, the clearer you feel, the more freer you also become because you peel away layers so you can get to your soul. You can get to your true heart and soul. They are one and the same, synonymous with one another. So I'm super excited. That's going to be fabulous. Oh my gosh. And there's a part of me I'm wondering what is coming up because I've been noticing a lot of physical body changes. Sometimes I look in the mirror, like this morning, I'm like, okay, maybe we're not so bad. Maybe I'm being a little harsh with myself. Maybe it's just the stress of all this year, my mom passing, Tom leaving. I'm going to tell you right now, that ninja, I miss him. And there is no doubt in my mind, when, as they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder, most certainly. And yeah, there's little quirks that when you're around somebody, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this anymore. This annoys me, that annoys me. All the things you claim to love a person about or for typically end up becoming your biggest annoying habit. The things that you want to, supposedly, you say you love them, and then you want to change those same things you love about them. But that's really just the ego. That's one thing I've learned, and I'm not saying any of that with Tom, because actually I've been very humbled during our relationship and time working and being together, playing. I really made a commitment to hold him in his highest divine sacred self and allow him to step into his balanced masculine feminine energy, to allow him to heal in whatever way he processes, however he needs it. It's not an easy thing for men and women because we will easily drop into the old ideas that this person's going to show up the way other people have in our lives, that if somebody hurt us, we anticipate, even somebody in the beginning of a relationship, it's all, oh, they're so wonderful. You're fantasy-like. You're imagining the fantasy. And then you start to see patterns that are similar to old relationships. And you anticipate what's happened in your last relationships because that's all you know, because the ego goes, uh-oh, that's a trigger because that reminds me of so-and-so. And so you almost put this layer on top of that person, anticipating them to be just like them. And it's not true and it's not fair to the other person. And I want that to resonate with everybody in the sense that you can see that in your own relationships and try to stay away from doing that. Because when I came into this union with Tom, I really said, you know what? This is a brand new. I'm not going to expect anything. I'm not going to hold him to anybody I've ever been with or around. And I'm going to allow him to just be. Whatever it is, and I'm just going to love him as he is. And so, yeah, there's been some roadblocks in there, but you know what? In the end, he's shown up and he surprised me more than anything. And ladies, let me tell you, when you hold your man, they will step into that space. But you got to give them the freedom to be and not expect and not be stuck in your past. I mean, it takes your own healing too. It will bring up your stuff, but relationship is where it's at. That's how we're going to grow and heal the most, because that's the most difficult aspect, is your stuff comes up through another. So, all right, that's enough on that. I've got stuff to get done. I'm going to jump into my practice, and then I'm going to go over and get things done. And this, the Florida life.
Now that's what I'm talking about. I think this is so super pretty.
On a day like today, sitting under the papaya tree. You ever have those moments where you go, you know, what's this all about? I just want to go have fun. But you know what? The other thing is, when you're awake, when you're aware, it's harder to go back to where you came from, because you have so much more awareness and insight into me, I see, intuition, awareness of what really matters, what feels right. Sometimes it's easy to fall into those slumps of, oh, you know, it was easier if I just didn't care, if I don't worry about it. But in the grand scheme of life, there's just no turning back. Once you go down the rabbit hole, it just gets deeper and deeper. Trust in the process. It's only testing your patience and resilience in life. So it is time to head to an event on mushrooms. Specifically, the woman is going to be talking about cordyceps, and this is Host Defense company's kind of like drive, I'm sure, but at the same time, who doesn't like a little shroom? So let's check it out.
We get some ethnomycology from Russian herbalists. They would saw these conchs out of trees and grind them up and then make a long, slow decoction in a bitter black brew, and they would give this to people that were suffering from esophageal issues, imbalances of the digestive tract, imbalances of the skin, imbalances of the lungs. And we also see a lot of similar ethnomycology from the indigenous peoples, the first people that live around the Great Lakes region. They would also use chaga in their body of herbalism. Inside, this is a chaga conch that's been sawed in half. That yellow is melanin. It's the same thing that gives our skin pigmentation. What this mushroom does is it usually has a favorite host. It's entomopathogenic, which means this mushroom in the wild needs bugs to be able to reproduce. And so this mushroom, Cordyceps militaris, specifically likes the ghost moth larvae, and it will inoculate a little helpless caterpillar and slowly take over its central nervous system and consume it from the inside out. And when it's almost out of its food and it's eaten that little juicy caterpillar, it commands it to crawl underneath the ground, and it will pop these beautiful little fruiting bodies right out of the top of its head when it warms up. In fact, in China, they call this winter grass summer worm, because they knew that it grew during the winter underneath the ground, and then it would pop up the fruiting body in the summer. And the ethnomycology we have of this mushroom comes from Asia as well. A scientist in Japan, Dr. Kawagisi, discovered 2 compounds or classes of compounds in this mushroom that helped change the way science thought about neurogenesis. I'm going to date myself. Over 25 years ago when I was in nursing school, I know it was a long time ago, but we were taught at a level of, a collegiate level of anatomy and physiology that the human being was born with a finite number of brain cells, and they just died off as we got older. And I always see people nodding, because my age especially, because they've been told that, they were taught that too. We were also taught that once a nerve was severed, it was severed and it wasn't going to grow back, it was permanent. Now we know that's not true now, because nerve growth factor has been discovered in the body. Stem cells have been discovered. Neurogenesis happens, it just happens very slowly. So lion's mane may contain compounds that may speed that up, which is a good thing, because we've seen the incidence of neurological disease or neurological related deaths increase by 66% in the last 10 years. Now this could be because other leading causes of death are dropping off, but the medical community still is bracing for impact because they don't really have anything that can slow down the progression of some of these illnesses. The brain requires a lot to keep it healthy and thriving. It takes in 25% of the body's oxygen, 70% of our glucose. Anyone ever go on a low carb diet and they feel spacey the first couple of days? It's because our brain thinks it's starving. Overall, 25% of the body's nutrients is what our brain requires, but it's actually less than 2% of our body by weight. It has the same texture and feel as gelatin. It's a very unique organ, and attached to that organ is a network of nerves that conduct impulses through electricity. Some of these nerves are wrapped in a sheath called the myelin sheath. You guys heard of the myelin sheath?
Yeah.
There are certain conditions that can degrade the myelin sheath. Anybody ever hear of any of those? MS?
Dementia,
And Alzheimer's, exactly, Parkinson's. This can cause damage that interrupts the flow of that electricity. So it's always going to look for substances and nutrients that feeds our entire neurological system. We see early research on the lion's mane, isn't it beautiful? On the lion's mane mushroom, that it actually helps activate and speed up peripheral nerve regeneration. And again, there's a handful of early trials. We want to see more and more. The thing is, with human clinical trials, they typically don't go in and deliberately create injury to a nerve. So they're hard to duplicate. But I get so many testimonials on this mushroom helping mitigate nerve pain. Again, it's not scientific, but it is something that I do hear anecdotally. Triterpenes, and they're a very active class of compounds that are found in these beneficial mushrooms, and that's what's giving it that beautiful gloss. Now, we have almost a 3,000-year written history in Chinese medicine of this mushroom being used medicinally. That's pretty profound.
Destination, but it's worth a shot.
sleeping.
All right, so a couple things. It's been a busy day. I did a lot more social media than I anticipated. I didn't get out of the house until later for the event to go see the woman speak on mushrooms. I didn't get a chance to go by the studio and work on the certificate, so I'm going to have to do that tomorrow because this weekend's going to be jam-packed. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be in Beyond Addiction again, so peeling those layers away. I wanted to share with you a couple things. So I went to Lululemon, which they have actually pretty darn good and cute stuff. And I had to find some wraps, some things that I could wear when I get chilly in yoga. And I know I showed it in the other video before, but you got to see this on. It's so cute. Let's see, I make sure I put it on the right way. So this, it's so rad. It's super cozy. Feels so good on. And look at how it wears. Okay, so I'm going to have to tuck back a little bit. So look at this. Right here, there's sewing between, so that the arm, you can kind of pull it up and it doesn't get caught on things. I love this. It just feels so wonderful. And you can wear it different ways, y'all. You don't just have to wear it like a cape, sweater, cover like it is. You can do a couple other things. You gotta be really creative with your clothes. So one thing you could do, and I know people haven't considered this, I didn't see it in the instructions, but you can take all these taggy things out because they don't make it so that there's a lot of seaming. You flip it inside out because it has the sew in, and then, watch this, this is rad. Then you do this. And so now, even though the back is like that, you can do that, or you can use it like this. So look how that looks. How super cute is that? So just to keep your arms covered, and you can just, just embrace yourself. I like that. And like I said, if you're really cold, maybe you have a shirt on underneath. You could even put this over your head if you wanted. Get really creative with your clothes, y'all. There's always options in how you can wear your stuff. The other way that you can do this, just one piece, right, is you can wear it just as a scarf, right? Just simple scarf. Like that. Maybe even toss it over. All right, so this one's lighter than the pink. The pink is super pretty. I couldn't help it. I'm a girl. I like pink. So the other, the opening on this isn't very large, so you gotta kind of work with it on this one. The other is an actual sweater. Very similar in the way that it's sewn. Here's how this one works. So this, pretty pink. I love all the, ooh, and then I'm getting my ring gets caught on a lot of things. So I have to be careful. So this, you just put over. Voila! And again, just like the light gray, it has sewing right there on both sides. Now, where I would get creative with this, if you really wanted to, you get a belt and you put the belt around, and then see how that would look? It would cinch it, but I like that it's open on the sides. And again, you could do it. Yeah, you could flip it around as well. You got to get creative with your clothes, I'm telling you. I'm not sure. This one might have. So they came with the little cover. Okay, the other one came with one. This one did not. The gray one came with. It didn't show what I just showed you though. Or it kind of did. So it shows you a little bit of the ideas. Right? Fun stuff. Fun. All right, so I basically, today was just a quiet day of, not really quiet, but busy day, catching up on social media, trying to get organized, unpack my suitcase, which I realized I could have shown you that, but I just got so busy. Sometimes I get so focused on doing things, they're done before I realize, oh yeah, I should have made a video of that. That's what vlogging's all about. Just saying. Oh well, stuff happens. The other thing that I did buy, because I bought one more set. Oh, I got this at Forever 21 and thought this was super cute. How rad is that? Look at the little, and it's super, super soft, okay? And it's just because sometimes I need something to throw on and I get cold when I'm in a training in Kundalini Yoga. And then one other thing was Lululemon. Where did I put it? Huh. Maybe it's not in here. I don't see. Oh, here it is. The other item that I bought at Lululemon, because I've got everything hanging on top of everything right now, is this super rad top. Look at this. Everything's white, can you tell? Look at how this drapes in the back. This is the back of it. It has a keyhole, basically. It's just simple white. It's super soft. And I figured, you know, again, another layer. I don't need a lot of layers, but I need a lot of whites. And then the pants, the yoga pants that I got, really nice. Check these out. These are super rad. You know, Lululemon, we'll be tagging them in this. What we do here, look at this pocket. The pocket in the back on the hip, on the back of the, up above, on the back side. Tell me that's not rad. They're super thick too. And then they have a sheer side down here. Fun stuff. Anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed what I shared in this vlog. I'm just going to tell you the mushroom lady was amazing. Really beneficial. You should be getting at least once a day your vitamins and your nutrients through mushrooms. Cooked, not raw. So even those of my plant-based raw food types, even myself, go for something that's a supplement or cook your mushrooms. That's where you're going to get most of the benefit. Cordyceps, reishi, lion's mane, did I forget one? She was talking about just some of the simple benefits that I had almost forgotten about, and I like to be reminded because I know a lot of this stuff, but there's only so much you retain, and then it's like, why do I like to do that again? And I love being reminded. And there, you can always be reminded and learn something even more. So for brain regeneration, cellular, you know, we thought our brain cells just went away. They can be restored, just like your DNA and the myelin sheath that protects our nerves as well as around our brain. All of that can be repaired. But, you know, we have to nourish and nurture mind, body, soul. It's not just mental, it's not just physical. You can't separate any of it. It all has to be balanced. Just a little tidbit, just saying. So, I hope you have an amazing evening, day, night, whatever you are doing, wherever you're at. I love you very much. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, caring, and all that wonderful stuff. Make sure your notifications are set to see first. You don't want to miss a beat when it comes to what Tom's up or what I'm up to. I love you very much. Sweet dreams. Good night.